The question is, what is the shape of the distribution shown below? So we see here a box plot that shows test score for each student in Mr. Doherty's class. Okay, so option A says that the distribution is symmetrical. This is not correct because we see that the box plot has a long tail to the left and a short tail. The fourth quartile is much smaller than the first quartile. And the median is skewed to the right. If the shape was symmetrical, then the box plot will have something like this shape with the median here. This is the number line, so if you fold the shape of the box plot along the median, it will overlap exactly or approximately. So this box plot is sure not symmetrical, and the distribution is not symmetrical. This is the correct answer. So B. Okay, let me first copy the question to the board. Okay, so the first question, Leo owns a hostel and counted the number of guests staying in each room. He then created both a histogram and a dot plot to display the same data, both diagrams shown below. Okay, so let me copy the diagrams. This is the histogram. This is the dot plot. This is the dot plot. Okay. The question is, which display can be used to find the maximum number of guests in a room? Okay. So the dot plot shows us the maximum value of the data points here. You see that 22 is the maximum number, but the histogram has buckets. So we have a bucket of data values from 20 to 23, and we don't know the exact value of the maximum number in a histogram because it groups data points to buckets. So in a histogram we cannot tell the exact maximum number, whereas in dot plot it shows exactly the maximum number. So the correct answer is B, the dot plot. So for this question, which display can be used to find the maximum number of guests in a room? The dot plot. Which display makes it clear that there were no rooms with one guest? No rooms with one guest. Again, the dot plot, because here we see that for the number of guests in each room, one has no data points, whereas here in the histogram we have a bucket from 0 to 3, and we don't know where the data points, the exact values of the data points. So we cannot tell if the data points here are 0 or 1 or 2 or 3. It can be the number of hostel rooms, the number we have. counted the guests in each room. So in 3 rooms, he had 0 to 3 guests. So it can be also 0, it can be 1, it can be 2, it can be 3. We don't know exactly then the value. But here we know that for the value 1, we don't have any data points. So the dot plot again is the correct answer. Which display makes it clear that there were no rooms with 1 guest? The dot plot again. Okay, next question. I'll copy it to the board. So this is a histogram, and this histogram shows US states visited by each engine airlines pilot. Okay. Which of the following are accurate description of the distribution below? The distribution has an outlier. This is correct. So see here that 0 to 4 number of states, number of pilots each. Okay. So only 1 pilot visited between 0 and 4 states, and this is definitely not representing the bulk of the data in this histogram, so this is an outlier. It's much further to the left, so this is the correct option. The distribution has a gap from 20 to 29 states, so no, 20 to 29 we have data here, so this is not correct. So option A is the correct answer here. Sal counted the number of songs on each album in his collection. He then created both a dot plot and a box plot to display the same data, both diagrams shown below. So let's copy the dot plot and the box plot. So this is the dot plot. So here in the dot plot, we see that he has 1 album with 7 songs, 2 albums with 8 songs, 2 albums with 9 songs, and so on. And here is the dot plot, the box plot. And let's see what the options are. What the question is, which display makes it easier to see that the median is 10 songs? Okay, so of course the box plot makes it easier to see that the median is 10 because we have the line within the box that shows the median. So this is the median. And we just need to look at the number line to see that the median is 10. But here in the dot plot, to figure out that the median is 10, we need to order the data. So we need to make something like this: 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, and so on. And then count the number of data points that we have and find the middle data point. So it's possible to know the median in the dot plot as well, but it's much easier to see that the median is 10 in the box plot. So for the first question, which display makes it easier to see that the median is 10 songs? The box plot. Next question, which display allows us to see that the mode is 10 songs? Okay, So here the answer is the dot plot, because the mode represents the value that occurs most often in the data set. So this is definitely 10, because we have 4 data points and we see that all the other values have less data points. And here in that box plot we don't know if there are any data points in 10, because the median says that half of the data is less than 10, half of the data is more than 10, but we don't know how many data points is exactly 10. So here in the box plot we cannot even say how many data points there are with a value of 10. So we don't know if 10 is the most frequent value, but here in the dot plot we see exactly that we have 4 data points, which is the greatest number of data points compared to the other values. So here the dot plot is the correct answer. Which of the following are accurate descriptions of the distribution below? Choose all answers that apply. Okay, so let's copy the dot plot. So this dot plot shows the high temperature each day in Edgeton, Iowa in July. So we see an even distribution because this data has a shape of a bell. It's approximately symmetric because the minimum and the maximum has 1 data point, and here we have 2 and 3, which is about the same. Here it's about the same, so it's approximately symmetric, and it does not have an outlier because the distribution is evenly distributed across the number line. The distribution has a peak at 22, this is correct. 22 degrees Celsius has a peak with the greatest number of days with 22 degrees Celsius. So this is the correct answer, B. Good. Okay, so in the next video I will take the unit test. The unit that I mean is data and statistics, and the unit test will be about all of these subject topics: dot plot and frequency tables, statistical questions, histograms, mean and median challenge problems, interquartile range IQR, box plots, mean absolute deviation, MAD, comparing data displays, shape of data distributions, and I'll see you in the next video where I take the unit test.